You've been through some stuff. You've done some healing. Maybe you've gone through a breakup. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you've had a sudden realization that you need to get your shit together. But how do you know if the work that you are doing on yourself, this personal development journey, is actually getting you to where you want to go? Well, I am going to share with you the easiest way that you can tell if you have healed. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button now and the little bell to be notified every single time I post a new video that is going to help you to create peace in your life no matter what is happening around you, even if you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and you are short on time. I had this client, let's call her Olivia, and she came to me because she was noticing that her temper was going to a whole new level. And it had been increasing over the years until one pivotal day when she snapped at her toddler and she heard the exact same words that her father used to yell at her and her siblings come out of her own mouth. And the shock of this moment really rooted Olivia into reality because she realized in that moment that if she did not get her anger under control, these triggers, that her relationship with her daughter was at stake. Can you relate to this? Have you had a sudden moment when all of a sudden you realize something's got to change? I cannot continue to go down this road. I'm looking down my path and it ain't looking good. Can you relate to this? I know that I certainly can. Well, through a 3-step process, I was able to help Olivia to let go of those angry triggers so that she was no longer snapping at her kids or her spouse or at her colleagues at work. And as a result, she's able to enjoy a more peaceful existence in this world. I've helped many other highly sensitive, high achieving women just like Olivia to do the same thing, to release this anger and this immense pressure that we feel inside, to really get to the root of what is causing us to suffer and to snap so that we can create peace in this world. So picture this. You're in traffic, right? And someone cuts you off and you flip no birds, you curse no words, you're just chilling. You're like, ooh, and you continue to vibe to Taylor Swift. Or you are sitting at work and Stacy in the cube next to you is up to her usual shenanigans, right? She's talking on the phone so loudly, and you would normally freak out and get super grumpy and annoyed by this, but you feel nothing. And then she gets up at some point and comes and interrupts you when you are like deep in thought and says, "Hey, are you feeling okay? You look kind of tired today." And you just say, "Thanks," and carry on with no blood pressure raised. And what has just happened? You did not react. And here it is, the evidence that you have moved some things internally, that you have done work on yourself. When you are no longer reacting, you know that your work that you are doing on yourself is working. The trick to healing is that it's not about pretending that those triggers aren't there. It's not about toxic positivity and just pretending that everything is okay, even though your life is on fire. It is about truly removing those deep triggers that are causing these reactions. And these deep triggers live really far down, but they like to come up and express ourselves when we have these reactions. And so you can tell that you have made real progress when you are faced with the exact same triggers or scenarios and you do not react the same way that you once did. I sure as hell experienced this after I was meditating for a couple months only, and I'd be sitting in traffic and someone would cut me off and I would have no reaction. And before that point, I was so quick to anger always. So before you click away, this by no means means that you are done your healing. Your healing is a lifelong journey. There is always more to uncover and discover and new triggers and new layers for you to experience. But those really beautiful moments in your life when you notice that your reaction to someone or something is a little different are these moments that you should really stop and celebrate all of the amazing work that you have done on yourself. And might I just say, You go, Glen Coco. So if you are excited to know that your healing gets to be simple, please like this video. And I would love to hear from you. What is a recent trigger that you may have reacted to in your life? I would love to hear it in the comments below. So what does this mean if you are still reacting, even a little bit, or maybe even just the same, even though you've been doing a ton of work on yourself? There are some things that I would love for you to keep in mind. Number one, you are doing great. Just because you're still reacting doesn't mean that you are doing anything wrong. It just means that there is still a trigger there, and that is okay. Keep going and keep working on your healing because you are worth it. Number two is that you may not have hit the root of your trigger quite yet. The work that I get to do with my clients, I absolutely love it because we don't mess around with all of these different distractions, all of these little triggers up here. We use the triggers that are happening out in the world to find the root at its core and begin to unwind it from there. So you may not have hit the root yet. The root still might be within you, that memory or that pattern or that belief system that is still there wreaking havoc in your life. Number three, probably the most overlooked thing when it comes to the personal development or the emotional healing space is soothing. Soothing is required after a period of loss, of deep healing, of deep transformation. You can't continue to excavate all the time. It's like picking at a scab constantly. So, what you might need right now, instead of going deeper and deeper and deeper and doing more and more and more work, is to just take your hands off the gas. And if you are, take your foot off the gas is the correct thing to say. Take your foot off the gas and just coast for a little while. In fact, pull over and enjoy a sunset or two, or probably 60. You need to take a break, self-soothe, work on loving yourself, work on accepting these parts of you that you have just uncovered, even if you are not the person that you want to be, even though you're still reacting to Stacy at work, even though you are still feeling heartbroken and easily triggered. You are worthy of your love as you are now, warts and all, imperfections and all. Make sure that you are soothing yourself after you have done some work on yourself. If you don't, what I see happen is that we begin to consider ourselves like a project, and it's like becomes this new obsession, right? And we start to obsess about our growth and our healing, and every single thing in our life is an opportunity for healing. And at some point, we need to remember that we're humans and that we're here to have a human experience. And just because bullshit is happening in your life doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing something wrong. So please soothe yourself and love yourself. How are you feeling after everything that we've discussed? Do you feel like you might appreciate a little bit of support in your emotional healing journey right now, in unwinding these deep triggers and belief systems that are holding you back, in releasing this internal pressure that you are feeling, that pit in your stomach and that elephant that's sitting on your chest? Well, if so, I would love to invite you to my free transformation called Anxiety Alchemy. It is going to walk you through step by step in a very crisp and quick manner to release the internal pressure that you are feeling and to calm your busy ruminating thoughts so that you can enjoy your life and be way less reactive to the idiots that are around you. If you are interested in that, please click the link below. I would love to connect with you over there.